Hi guys, it's Kara and I hope you're having a good holiday season so far. I have been working on my Christmas cards. Hopefully have some of those videos up very shortly after this one. And as I was getting into actually making the cards, I realized that it might be a good idea to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about what I did to prepare for making the cards. If you guys have watched past videos of mine, you know that with most things I like to be prepared. Whether it's setting up a new traveler's notebook or doing a project, I like to kind of have a general idea of what I'm doing, what supplies I need, and typically I'm going to probably gather up a lot of them and be really ready to go. So for example, with the cards that I want to make, as I not only pulled out stamp sets that I had but also purchased them, I was thinking about how I could use them. And what I did in one of my notebooks, I'm just going to give you a brief little look, is I sketched out very roughly and very quickly, you can kind of see, lots of possible ideas for cards that I would make. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to follow this exactly, but it gives me a good idea of the kind of materials that I need. It gives me a place to go if, when I'm actually making the cards, I get a little stumped for what I want to do, and that's kind of my starting point. Then I start preparing the things that I can prepare, and I'm going to show you a few while we're still face to face, and then I'm going to switch the camera angle and show you some other things. So the first thing that I do is I, for the most part, think about the colors that I'm going to use in the cardstock and things like that, and I get a whole bunch of card bases ready to go, and that's what you see here. I have, I don't know how many, but there are a ton. I may or may not use all of these. I may or may not need to make more, but I wanted to get just some basics done because I tend to get into a flow and I hate to have to stop for parts that I could have already had ready to go. So I have that. I also knew I wanted to make some round cards this year, so I have those card bases prepped as well, and when I get to those I'll tell you how I made them. And then I also die cut quite a few things so that I would have some other backgrounds. I used some just kind of simple squared dies or rectangle dies that I had. I used a real cute, I think it's called a postcard die, so that it's got kind of a cute little scalloped edge, and I did it in lots of different colors because, again, if I don't use these here, I will definitely use them on other cards. I also did some larger tags in different colors, like so. I knew I wanted to make some shaker cards, so I took some paper that I knew I wanted to use and die cut out some basic different circles, things like that. So I have some of those basics ready to go. And then I have some smaller pieces ready to go, along with having had basic supplies pulled. So now it's going to be where I change the angle. Okay guys, for the second part of the video, I just wanted to show you some of the smaller items I prepared. Now I am using this cute little pink container that I got a while back from Michaels, which I think they still have and have in a larger size and maybe in a clear container too, I'm not sure. Anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the smaller pieces. There are lots and lots of little die cuts that I have that are smaller than those I showed you before. Some Polaroid frames, some little circles that are little lacy, little plain ones, various sizes of tags and labels, and you can see I did some in different colors. Again, sticking with the color themes that I think I'm going to be using for Christmas cards. I have some frames like this. I have some smaller Polaroid frames down here like those. And then over here, I have lots and lots of images from various stamp companies that I have been Copic coloring. I've been spending lots and lots of time doing that, partly because I was out of practice and I was trying to kind of get at least a little bit of my Copic mojo back. and partly because I did so many of them. Because, you know, first you have to stamp the images, then you color the images, and then you die cut the images, or at least that's what I did. And so that took quite a while. So I've been doing that on and off for a few weeks. And I have used some really great images from Mama Elephant, Hello Bluebird, W+9. I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anybody. Those are the big ones I think I've used. I've got Santas and Mrs. Clauses and snowmen and penguins, Christmas trees and presents, and deer, and all kinds of houses and buildings and little trees, and they're all prepped and ready to go. Again, I picked kind of color themes that I liked, especially for like the buildings. So I have kind of traditional, like almost gingerbready colors. I have pink ones, I have blue and gray ones. So I have a lot of options. And I did that so that, again, I'm prepped and ready to go because, like I said before, I have a general idea of the kind of cards that I want to make. Now, a lot of times when I start to make cards, that changes, but I always like to be prepared. And especially when I'm doing a big project like this, where I really want to make a lot of cards, I want to have a lot of things ready ahead of time if I can, so that when I get going, it doesn't slow me down. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes sharing this with you guys in the hopes that this might give you some ideas for when you're preparing for a big project on kind of how to prep and get ready so that you can more easily pull it all together when you start to make whatever it is you're making. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know. Most of the time when I do videos in the future for the cards, I will be mentioning like where some of these came from and things like that. But keep in mind, I'm still trying to get back into the swing of card making, and I don't always remember to think about the supplies, but I will try and mention everything that I can in those upcoming card videos. Again, questions and comments down below, and I just want to thank you for spending the time watching the video. And as always, I hope that wherever you are having a wonderful day and a very happy holiday season. Thanks, guys. Bye.